Hello guys, and welcome to another Sims 4 room build. I'll be real and entirely honest with you here. This is like the fourth time I've recorded this voiceover for this particular video. It's the third for a couple others. I am having a really hard time getting decent audio. I don't actually have a lot of faith I'm recording decent audio right now because it either keeps getting super staticky or just corrupting altogether, which is superbly fun. But we just were doing a little build here, just a little room, a little kitchen, a little kind of black kitchen was the goal, something kind of somewhere between contemporary and modern, warm enough to still be enjoyable, but something you would see in like a detective flick maybe, you know, that kind of thing. Just a little bit of a fun change from what we were doing lately, because we've been doing a lot of big builds, and I've kind of been in the mood for like some little one-off rooms and little baby houses and things. I actually just finished a base game only starter home, which I haven't done in so long. That was really fun. But this little guy was just sort of banging around in my head, and I had time on my lunch break, and so I decided to fire up The Sims. The joys of working from home, right? Fire up The Sims on my lunch break and do a little bit of building. So this build from start to finish took one lunch break, which was really exciting because a lot of my builds have actually taken several weeks in some cases, just because I haven't had a lot of time and I'm a slow builder. But it started much bigger than it ends up, and it's not exactly what I had in my head, because I wanted a couple pass-throughs. I wanted some place for butler's pantry to go if you were going to build a whole like apartment out of this, which I do think, kind of using this as our aesthetic guide, I do want to do like a little bit more of a modern apartment. I have lots of apartment-based ideas at the moment. Actually, I have so many build ideas. The problem is just finding time to sit down and do them at the moment, to be honest with you. Sit down and do them and give them the attention they deserve, because I've been doing a lot of like 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there, which is good for builds like this. Like, this is a good, like I said, lunch break build. But sometimes sometimes you want to give something a little more thought than that. But I'm hoping things will chill out here shortly. Although it's also getting to be springtime, which means lots of fun on the farm and stuff like that. But this build was just such a breath of fresh air. There's been a couple of them where there's been rooms in between big builds, and I'm hoping those big builds will be going up on the channel too. There's one that's even a two-parter, and I don't know how that happened, because it shouldn't be a two-parter. It's like not that big a house, but there's just so much footage. And then with this one, there was like, oh, this is easy. This is like 30 minutes of footage, easy peasy lemon squeezy. It's not even sped up that much, so you can kind of actually see like how jerky my mouse movements and stuff are. But I really liked the way this came out. It was really fun. It has very minimal styling to it. There's not a lot of decor necessarily, and it's kind of for a reason. You kind of almost get the impression no one actually cooks in this kitchen. It's not, like I said, as grand as I had hoped it would be. I think the kitchen in my head and the kitchen that came out were a little bit different, in that in my head it was perhaps maybe more of a penthouse kitchen, like a show kitchen. This one I can see being still part of a pretty big apartment considering the size of the kitchen, but maybe not like crazy penthouse like was kind of in my head originally. But I really like the basis off of this one. I can see like maybe this would do just like an what's that slightly bigger apartment? Is it Hakeem House? Oh, I can't remember the names ever. But now I really want to do like a full apartment that's like kind of cool, contemporary, modern-ish in The Sims like this. And I really do love using this kitchen set. And I never use black countertops. It's funny because I associate black countertops with like RVs. I associate black countertops, like granite, with RVs, because it's pretty much the only place I've seen them, because my family used to own, we owned an RV, but it was from the 90s, so it had like kind of a teal countertop. It was real cute, but like a lot of my family members have owned RVs, and they always have like that black, I think it's like granite or granite wannabe perhaps, and like dark cabinetry. I don't know why a lot of more modern RVs have that, but I always associate it with RVs. But in The Sims, a lot of times, it also kind of looks like laminate in The Sims. We don't have a ton of, like, modern-looking stone. I would love to see, like, they did the base game update, and that's fantastic. I would love to see, like, more timber and concrete tops, because that's kind of what's in right now. But honestly, like, even if you could do, I keep saying this, you could just do CC, because those, like, these cabinets with the long handles, and then like no handle one, like the very base model. I know they're not supposedly like good decor according to your Sims, but you could style those a little bit of you could do your own, like put it in Sims Studio, Sims 4 Studio, and add your own tops. It's actually, they're pretty cute. The only thing, I swear one of the swatches had a timber top, and I don't remember what swatch it is now, but I keep going for it and it's not there. But I thought it had white counters with a timber top. I think I get the counters and the cabinets confused, but I would have loved to see a timber top on those white, because they're very almost IKEA-esque. Those would have been really cool. But I am very grateful. I do like the swatches they gave us. They gave us a lot of good swatches across the board. It's so fun to decorate, which is why I wanted to do in an upcoming video here in a while. You guys will see it in a while. I just did it, but like a base game build, because I was like, I should really play with all the swatches. It's a lot easier now than it used to be. But going back to this build, I did kind of my usual like hints of like coppery orange. I really like orange. I have little cousins, and the other day, little June was like, what's your favorite color? And I was like, and she's like 5, so this is important information, you know? And it occurred to me, like I told her purple, but it occurred to me, I don't think I have a favorite color. I have a lot of favorite shades of a lot of colors, but I don't know, like, do you guys have favorite colors now? Or as adults, have you realized that there was a lot of really pretty colors and a lot of just like really rough colors in all, like across the spectrum? Because there's some oranges I love, and there's some oranges I absolutely hate. I think I like more oranges than I hate, but there's a lot of purples that I love, and a lot of purples that I really don't love. I'm not a big red person. I very rarely find reds that I really like. But I mean, red's a pretty color. It's just, I don't know. I'm not a big red person, which is funny because I love orange, and literally it might be the only one in my family who isn't like, really? Orange is fast food. But my point being is like, I don't know, as an adult I don't think I have a favorite color, but I have to pick because I have so many little cousins, so I always say purple. I always say purple because of my college colors were purple and gold, and I own a lot of purple because of that. So, and I do like purple. It is a lovely color. I like a good royal purple. And it has a lot of good variants, but in this particular case I picked orange and kind of coppery colors to go with. And then I struggled with the wall color because I really wanted to do like a full black, but we have muddy blacks, which I'm not complaining about. It is what it is. It's an aesthetic choice, but I ended up going, I think, with more of like a charcoaly or a slate gray, and then some I think it's cats and dogs, perhaps, or maybe I think it's cats and dogs tile, which is really fun. I don't use tile often, like the backsplashes, because sometimes it's hard to get to look right because the paint they pair with the tile peeks out over the top, which I know it doesn't always on screenshots, but it bugs me because then it doesn't match like your actual paint color. I wish you could do you could do backsplashes as overlays. That would be really cool, like exactly like it is now, but just the top would just be the color of the walls, you know, like it would just paint like 3/4 of the way up or something like that. That would be cool. That would open so many possibilities up, because then you could have really cool backsplashes with whatever color kitchen you wanted. Maybe in Sims 5. I think they've gotten a lot of really consistent feedback about build buy and about gameplay with The Sims 4. I feel like, and like I was a baby, not really, but like The Sims 3 I was a little, and The Sims 2 I was little, and I think it was like, I've been 5 when The Sims 1 came out, so little. We weren't really on the internet as children, and we played a lot of video games, but The Sims, my parents were like, do you know what they do in that game? So I didn't play a ton of them until I was a teenager, but I feel like Sims 4, at least from my perspective, there's a ton of feedback, and some of that is that the internet has grown to be more of like a commonplace thing, I think. Talking back to developers has just become a little bit more of a commonplace thing, I think. But I think they're getting a lot of really good feedback, and I hope, if they're paying attention, The Sims 5 is going to have a lot of really neat features, because it simply has to, right? Like when your community is telling you over and over again, we want more customizable things, assets in build buy, we want create style back but better, you know, we want deep rich gameplay. It's asking the moon, you know, it's asking the whole moon, but I hope they hit enough of it that we're like, yeah, this is cool, this solves a lot of our issues. I think that'd be really fun, and not always online. Please have learned from SimCity, good grief, I can talk today. Please have learned from SimCity. We don't want always online. Some of us live out in the boonies and don't have good internet. Please allow us an offline option. Thank you. That's all I want. I want a lot of the little quality of life things fixed from the Sims 4, and I want to be able to play it without an internet connection. I'm really not that picky. But here's the screenshots. I really like this kitchen. You know, this kitchen and this voiceover, assuming this voiceover works this time, have actually been just a little bit of a fun side joy to work on compared to some of the big builds. Not that they're not fun, but this one's just been something different, a different pace. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're having a fantastic day wherever you are, and I will talk to y'all soon.